Before I jump into this episode, I just want to kindly remind everyone that if you do enjoy this episode, to please smash the like button. It really does help us out with YouTube's algorithm. Also, speaking of liking things, I hope that you're all enjoying our Facebook page, so be sure to join that page. Mitch will for sure leave the link down below in the description. Again, we really do encourage everyone to post their favorite cards, post what they're looking for, post any kind of tips, or really we're just trying to build community, and that's exactly what this YouTube channel and that Facebook page is for. Thank you all for listening to my short little rant, and now, the fun stuff.
This episode's brought to you by Red Cape Films.
Hello everybody and welcome to yet another episode of Red Cape Sports. I'm your host, Bert Bouchard. Today we're going to do something very different from what you're all normally used to, but that's just the way that it's going to have to go with quarantine and no more baseball, at least for the time being. So today I thought that I would bust a page literally out of my childhood playbook, and this is something that a buddy of mine, Matt Dano, and I used to do all the time. We used to always make our all MLB team. And what that means is our best 9 positional players, a designated hitter, our closer, and our top 5 pitchers that we would grab in the MLB. So not just American League and not just National League, put them together, the best of the best. We'll just start it off. I guess we'll start it off with third base. So with third base, I want a good glove, and I want, ultimately, all these guys are going to be great hitters. Because at the end of the day, if you can hit, you play. That's just my rule. But this guy's got a good glove, and he really does it all. I'm going with Nolan Arenado. I just feel like he's a great pick. And yeah, you can say, he's a product of Coors Field, but I've seen this guy play. The ball just sounds differently coming off his bat. Moving on to shortstop. This is a guy that a lot of you might say that there's better options at this position, but regardless, I'm going with the man Gleyber Torres. To me, again, he's got a phenomenal glove, a lot of pop in his bat. Really can't go wrong. So a lot of RBI opportunities slowly but surely building here. My second base, you might be able to argue that it's not a legitimate second baseman, but this is a guy who in college ball played a lot of time in the infield at second base. He's primarily a third baseman. I will say that, but at the end of the day, if you can play third base, I will 100% argue until the day I die that you can also play second base. So for that reason, I'm going with Alex Bregman. So already manning my infield in the corner spot, in the middle of the infield, I have a guy in pinstripes, not a big fan of the Yankees, and I got a quote-unquote cheater in Alex Bregman, but 25 years old. He's got an amazing glove. 120 RBIs last year. He can hit the ball. He can do it all. Next, at first base, this one truly, it hurt me a lot. There were so many guys who I could argue to put for first base. But at the end of the day, again, defense is key. Of course, if you can hit, you're going to be playing. But this guy is constantly winning Gold Gloves, and he's constantly raking the ball. So I got to go with Paul Goldschmidt. I know that's not just because I'm a St. Louis Cardinal fan. And for those of you wondering, it was either going to be Goldschmidt or Freddie Freeman. But personally, I feel like the better glove goes to Goldschmidt, so that's why I gave him the nod. Now moving to catcher. If this were a defensive game, even though he is aging, I'd still go with my man Yadier Molina. But because it's not, I want a guy who can play 150 games if need be, like my pick did last year. I want a guy who can get 20-plus home runs, even at the catcher position. And I want a leader. So that's why I'm going with Yasmani Grandal. He's been with the Padres. He's been with the Dodgers. definitely got cheated out of a World Series, at least in my opinion. And now he's doing great things with Milwaukee. So Yasmani Grandal. Should we go starting pitchers or the outfield? Let's go with starting pitchers. My starting pitcher, and of course this is going to be in no particular order, but someone, at least in my opinion, who's just been consistent, has been Justin Verlander. Justin Verlander, we saw what he did last year with the Cy Young. This is a guy who, postseason, regular season, he can pitch. He'll provide you with the innings. He'll get you the strikeouts. And his ERA is always low. So Justin Verlander, say what you want, but he's the man. Number 2, Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole, same deal. He gets you a lot of innings, gets you a lot of strikeouts, gets you deep into games. That way I don't got to use my bullpen. Garrett Cole, he instills fear into batters. So I got to go with him. Number 3, a lot of you might not agree with this, especially when it comes to winning a championship. But I have to go with Clayton Kershaw. Oh, well, he can't pitch well in the playoffs. That might be a legitimate argument, but at the end of the day, we got to get to playoffs. We got to get to playoffs, and we got to keep our bullpen's arms fresh. So I'm going to go with Clayton Kershaw. Personally, I think his time in the playoffs will come, and to be honest, you'd still much rather have a guy like Clayton Kershaw, even in the playoffs, than really almost anyone else. So you can say what you want, but I'm picking Kershaw. Next up, we got the man, Jacob DeGrom. Jacob DeGrom, amazing pitcher. And now, finally, perhaps for the first time in his career, we're going to have run support. So that's fantastic. Jacob DeGrom finally getting some run support. And also I'm going to put a little arrow for both these guys. Both these guys are pitchers. And then to round out the rotation, another former Tiger in Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer has just always brought the filthiest of stuff to his game. Again, goes deep into games, and he's got a arsenal of pitches. So I feel like that's a pretty strong top 5. Of course, there's a ton of guys who I left out on here, but to me, I want consistency when it comes to my starting rotation. And then closer, this one is going to shock a few people, maybe not everyone, but a few people. But when I look at closer, when I look at all these guys, all these top 5 pitchers, they're amazing. They instill fear into people, and they're great at what they do. But perhaps the most feared pitcher, who I think should be, and I can almost guarantee you, Mitch is filming right now, and he hasn't even heard of this guy. Josh Hader. Josh Hader is the tall, lanky, skinny left-hander with the flowy hair from the Milwaukee Brewers. This guy has a lifetime batting average against of .146. This guy is almost averaging 2 strikeouts an inning. So, there are talks that they want to even bring him into the starting pitching role, but I think he's just so dominant. And there was a point within the 2019 season that this guy very easily could have won the National League MVP at one point. But anyway, Josh Hader, at least in my opinion, best closer in baseball. But designated hitter, you got to go with Christian Yelich. Christian Yelich is just a phenomenal ball player. I wish that I could sneak him into the outfield. I truly do. But the thing is, the outfield is just packed solid with, I got speed in the outfield, I got power, I got defense. So that's why he's my designated hitter. NL MVP is a lot, but regardless, could stick him in left field, but how can I make the case for him in left field when I got the guy, Ronald Acuna Jr. Ronald Acuna Jr., this is the year, maybe 2021 when he gets a full entire season. I'm calling it. He's going to finally get that 40-40 season. He's speedy, so he'll track the entire outfield between the rest of my guys. He'll get on base. He'll steal bases. He'll hit for average, hit for power. He's amazing. Next up, this one should have been... Actually, no, I'm going to write this one in Sharpie just because he's that good. So this is never changing. Mike Trout, need I say more? Best player in baseball, probably best player of the decade. This guy could honestly even make a case for all MLB team being all time. Mike Trout is just a stud. And then rounding it off, again, as you can see the trend here, I really do like consistency. Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger has, from day one, actually since Little League, this guy was actually a Little League All-Star. Cody Bellinger is just amazing. And believe it or not, I do like the fact that he's left-handed throwing. Kind of just adds a different atmosphere to my ball team. So there you have it, guys. That is my all MLB quarantine in a perfect world, if the Yankees could buy everyone team. These are, at least in my opinion, the best players, the cream of the cream of the crop. So anyways, guys, I really enjoyed doing this. So if you like it, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up. If you want to see this done for other sports, I'd be more than happy to do it. I literally have nothing better to do with my life at the moment. So yeah, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Till next time.